Namaskar.
Namaskar, friends. Today, what we are going to target is a few important things which matter even in my life. Are we looking at World War III? What did the Trump do? What did Joe Biden do? What changed the world equation? What is the deep state doing? What are the Israelis talking? What is Putin talking? Why on PGurus we are talking that we are looking into a World War III? What happened in the background? Who are the players? Who is going to benefit? How are next 48 days going to look like? Why not 62 days? Why 48 days? This is a lot of things which we are going to talk about. In the end, I must say, is it 48 days of heaven or hell? What are we looking at?
Absolutely, Sumit ji. I can see that a lot of stuff happening around the world. Deep state is busy at work. In fact, many of you may have seen a monologue where I said that illegals are being transferred from New York City to Canada using buses. 200,000. And I hope by now the city has woken up to what is going on. But they may say, good riddance, no expense for me. It's now Canada's problem. I don't know how Canada is going to solve it. So you are absolutely spot on. In every place, there's conflagration. You see Manipur also in India. So let us go
Correct.
one by one. I leave the floor to Sumit ji. We have a lot to cover. Over to you.
And sir, in the name of Bhagwan Sree Ganesha, let's do the Sree Ganeshas of today vlog. Today's vlog, friends, very important turn of events in the history and in our lives. I'm being serious today. I'm being candid today. I'm being direct today because next 48 days of our life, not immediate next, 15 after 48, are going to see, is it going to be heaven or hell on earth? We, our generation, our people, the people who are living and breathing will see what is going to happen. I'm not trying to scare you, but I'm trying to be direct. And I've been, when it comes to humanity, when it comes to country and dharma, I am very direct. Look, I have been warning you, this is a possibility. How does this all happen? Friends, brothers and sisters, we are looking at a possibility of a World War III. Very, very strong likelihood now. It's not a possibility. And unfortunately, this is going to be a nuclear World War III. It's going to see for the first time the use of nuclear weapons in humanity against each other. This is the unfortunate part of it. Let me take you back to what Donald Trump had said, that world is on the verge of a nuclear World War III. We were happy, we were celebrating, we were jumping with joy, thinking that President Trump has come back and that is the best thing to happen to the world. And I believe that is still the best thing to happen to the world. But in all my Hindi vlogs with you or the English vlogs with you, I have been carefully warning you of one thing. 50 क़यामत के दिन, 50 days to go, wherein Biden gets out the seat and Trump takes on the seat. In between these 5 days, all these, ambassadors of devil, all these angels of Lucifer, and all these epitomes of, I don't know what to tell them, all these epitomes of death and destruction, they are going to cause havoc. They are going to have that, what we call in Hindi, the Tandav, on planet Earth. They know they are there 50 days. Because what Sree rightly said, if Democrats do good under Trump, another 1 to 2 terms are there. So it's now or you're out of the business for next 12 years. And after 12 years, who lives, who dies, nobody knows. This will be a different world. Now, what are they doing? I'll take you back and tell you why I am saying this. What has happened? Sumit bhai, what changed between a Monday morning and a Sunday evening? I mean, it's just 36 hours. What the hell changed on earth? Why are you jumping like a frog? Yes, you should ask me this because I'm going to answer you each and every question. And, whenever I talk, it is basically logic, reason, facts, figures, data, right? I'm not a clown I'm not a clown who comes and jokes on the YouTube and TV. The first thing is very important. Look, we have covered this in detail on PGurus and even on Bharat Vichar and some other channels. Look, there is a possibility that Shalom missile, which is one of the ace missiles UK has, France has, even I think Americans have a collaboration. It's basically a Raytheon and a collaboration missile. This missile is a very lethal missile. This missile was given to Ukraine. Now, ATACMS is the intermediate range ballistic missiles which Americans have. Range 300 kilometers, around 190 miles. Can carry 375 pounds of explosives. That means more than 400 bombs which can be loaded on it. And it's a lethal force within 300 kilometers. Now, Storm Shadows and ATACMS are with Ukraine. And what was the comedian trying? The comedian has been, comedian Zelensky. He has been asking for last 2 years, kindly approve me, Mr. Joe Biden, to use these missiles on the Russian mainland. Now, what is the Russian mainland? When you look at the Russian-Ukrainian conflict, this is Russia, this is Ukraine. There's a part of Ukraine which is under Russian control. The agreement has been, and up till today was that all the arsenal what we give you, you will use on this land, which is basically the Ukrainian territory controlled by the Russians. There is no way you are crossing the Russian border or using it on the Russian mainland. So we'll call it Russian mainland. So you will not use it on the Russian mainland. There is no permission given for it. While Zelensky has been asking, please give me the approval, I want to do it. For 2 years, this was not given. I think 2 or 3 months back, I picked up this topic. I told you that there is something I'm sensing in the air, that there is something which is being talked about this. It came up when 𝗓𝗏 came into power. 𝗓𝗏, who is backed by Islamists and the leftists, he once said, oh, I may give you the approval to use my 𝗏𝗏𝗏 missile on mainland Russia. He kind of gave that approval, right? France did not back him up. Germans were silent and Americans backed out. Then 𝗓𝗏 had to back out. But when this happened, I think it was September, October, that is the time frame it happened. When this news became popular, when this news was hitting the world, I think Putin was very clear. Vladimir Putin made a sentence. He said, look, if this arsenal, that is the arsenal from the European countries, arsenal from the NATO countries, or the American arsenal, though at that point of time, even Americans were not in the picture. Joe Biden had clearly rejected this offer and he had not supported 𝗓𝗏 on this. But he said, if this is used on the mainland Russia, that is Putin, this will be the declaration of war. This will be the official declaration of war by America, Europe, and NATO countries on Russia. And if you do it, Russia would have no other option but to retaliate with a nuclear weapon. It can be a tactical nuclear weapon. It can be a strategic nuclear weapon. So the first country which is going to bear the brunt of this nuclear weapon will be Ukraine and the people who are stationed there and the forces are stationed there. Then it might go beyond that. Now, three developments which I want to bring to your notice, which have happened, after in between, right? First thing is, Russia made this declaration of war and set the red line. Now, at that point of time, 𝗏𝗏𝗏 is again an effective missile, but not as good as ATACMS. It doesn't have so much of payload, but it's again a lethal missile. But the challenge was American missiles were not even in picture. So Putin thought that, okay, it's only 𝗓𝗏 who is trying to jump up and trying to show up to his Islamist friends that he's trying to do something. So he kind of said it will not happen. Americans will not do it. What did Putin do? Putin declared this as a red line, Lakshman Rekha, what we call in Hindi. You cross this, declaration of war. Point number 2, I reported on PGurus that there have been 2 nuclear drills done by Putin last month in a succession of 15 days, wherein the nuclear strategy command was called in. They assembled their rockets, they assembled their all the stuff. They did the missiles, they did how the evacuation will happen if the first attack happens, how they are going to react, and what about the all drills and practices. For the first time in last 30 years, Russia has done 2 nuclear drills, full-fledged nuclear drills in 15 days duration, after every 15 days. This has not happened first thing. Russia has declared that they have this torpedo, which is a nuclear torpedo. The beauty of the torpedo is it can go anywhere in the world because it's powered by a nuclear engine and as a nuclear reactor as engine. And if it hits something, it can cause waves which is as big as 7 meters. So for people or the countries who are on the seashores like England, this torpedo can cause a tsunami which can wipe out a few cities of England. That is what 𝗓𝗏 should know and be aware of. Third thing, which we spoke on PGurus extensively, which American researchers reported, which CIA acknowledged, and yet we have this decision. What was that? They were top secret Russian facilities. In that Russian facilities, they were seen 5 silos. In those 5 silos, and looking at the structures around it, there were ammunition dumps and all, which is unlike the Russian typical architecture. They don't keep, silos and the dumps together and the research facilities and all. What was in that? Russians have made a missile, which is the longest range missile in the world because it is powered by a nuclear reactor. No solid fuel, no liquid fuel, no propellants. It's a nuclear radio reactor, a short small reactor which is inside the missile, which powers the missile. So basically, there is nothing called the range of this missile. It can go from anywhere of the earth to anywhere on the earth, and it is believed to be a cruise missile. So if it is a cruise missile with a nuclear powered engine or a nuclear powered battery or a nuclear powered fuel cell, whatever, to make it simpler, it is the most lethal weapon. So Russia announced that. American researchers found that because Russia wanted you to find that. CIA is aware of that, and this was again the world news. So you have this nuclear torpedo, you have this nuclear powered missile, and you have this red line which is being laid. After that, I thought, I think we have lived over it because Putin has showed his power. And let's not forget, Russians have this dead man switch. Even if you devastate the Russia with the algorithms, with the radioactivity and all, there are thousands plus missiles and few thousand missiles in silos which have fixed targets, and they don't need any human intervention. They will just leave the silos after certain conditions are met. So with all those things, we thought Americans will not do it because today Russians have slightly more nukes than the Americans. That is what the count is. With those things happening, I thought, when Putin kind of talked about this power, you will kind of not do it. We have covered that missile in details on PGurus, so we're not going to go back into it. So up till day before yesterday, it was all fine. Sunday morning, it was all fine. But when I woke up in Monday morning, India time, I saw something drastic has happened. Joe Biden, it was assumed by today evening, when I saw in the morning, that he may likely give an approval to this. But what I am reading before coming and joining in the show, what we're talking in our PGurus team, usually we discuss about the topics and the current affairs happening, and then we come to a consensus. What we are talking today was then when it was almost sure that the Biden has given approval to Ukraine for the use of this missile on mainland Russia. Now, UK has not spoken, France has not spoken yet, and Germans are silent. Germans have not spoken earlier as well. Swear to God, this is like a signing your own suicide note. This is exactly what you are going to do, because, and the reason they are giving, the reason they are giving is that North Koreans are at a part of Russia. They might take a piece of Ukraine back. So what is the logic? The logic is that will allow Ukrainians to use that. If they are able to take a piece of Russia, then that piece of Russia will come to the negotiation table and will say, Russia, okay, you take this piece back and you give the big part of Ukraine which you are holding back, which is not possibly going to happen because Russia today holds around 24% of the Ukrainian territory. But this is the news which is given to common man for digestion, and he or she thinks that this is what my leaders want. No, this is not the thing. The thing is validated when the Trump Jr., the son of Trump, who's around 46 years old and is believed to have the maximum influence on his father, when he tweeted in response of that, looks like American military industry is hell-bent to make their trillions and start the World War III. So before my father takes the office, millions of people could die, and there is nothing much practically he can do to save these lives. So we have been trying very hard to save these millions of lives, millions of innocent people from dying, but you seem to be hell-bent because you want to make your trillions of dollars. This is what Trump Jr. has tweeted. This is official. There's no hypothesis around it. There's no analysis around it. And Biden makes this announcement and suddenly walks back. And one day before Biden meets Xi Jinping, and Xi Jinping warns him that you better have good relations with China. I don't know why is she so on cloud nine, and why is Biden looking weak? And in Peru, if you look at the reception what she got, and pick up a picture, look at the reception what Biden got, it is atrocious. Biden was treated like he's from some fourth world country, some chota mota neta, some small fry who has landed in. Even if you look at in the picture, she is in the center and Biden is somewhere in the last. So if you look at all the optics of the Peru summit, it looked atrocious, it looked bad, it looked a very, very weak and meek American president, and it was the insult to America which was carried out in that summit. That is my opinion on that. But suddenly, we come to know about this thing. Now, what is going to happen? If you look at what Trump has already told, what Putin has already told, right, and what everything has happened. Now it happened now, right? If Zelensky goes and fires a missile on the mainland Russia, Putin will retaliate with a tactical or a strategic warhead. Kuch bhi kar sakta hai. So if that happens, you can imagine the death and destruction that will happen. And let me remind you, friends, there are 19 active reactors in nuclear. So you wanted to make a point, Ji. You're on mute, sir. Mute.
Just one clarification, viewers. The G20 meeting is happening in Brazil, not Peru. Just wanted to tell you that. Over. Back to you.
So now, if you look at the impact of this, now Putin will retaliate with a nuclear war. There are 19 reactors in Ukraine, 19 active reactors, and they're all like string time bombs. If the hell breaks loose, that if American soldiers or the French soldiers or the whoever is fighting for Zelensky, they get killed, and if the war escalates, now the challenge is also different. Now, if you talk of NATO does not have nuclear weapons. NATO does not even have a nuclear weapon command. It has some vague structure to handle nuclear weapons, but the challenge is, where will the NATO get the nuclear weapons from? NATO has to get nuclear weapons either from America, UK, or France. They are the only 3 countries in the NATO which have nukes. But the challenge is, first of all, who will give nukes to the NATO to retaliate? But even if NATO builds a command and control, builds a structure, and they go and retaliate, the country who gives them nukes will get the retaliation back. So the country who has to take the brunt of the attack will be USA, will be France, or will be United Kingdom. Will they decide to do that? And if they decide to do that, where will the war escalate? Then you will have Chinese in the picture. Then you will have a lot of other countries, Pakistanis, a lot of other countries joining in the picture. What has happened in the back end, that is very important. Now, as the shift of power was happening, look at the cabinet of Donald J. Trump, look at how straightforward these guys are, and look at the kind of actions they have been hinting at. So deep state sees that their fortunes are dwindling. Jihadis, Islamists, their fortunes are dwindling, and communists, their fortunes are dwindling. So this is a combination for the first time where I see, that, you might have this deep state along with jihadis and along with communists getting together and making a dangerous cocktail. And let's not forget 𝗣𝗚𝘅 Obama. By the way, I want to take you to one of the Trump's speeches wherein he clearly said, that Americans had developed the hypersonic missile, all the technology and all in his time. Russians kind of stole it from Americans. And he goes and names, maybe Bill Clinton sold to them. And he says, maybe Barack Hussein Obama. Trump, quote unquote, uses the name Barack Hussein Obama sold it to them. So, I mean, this is not what I am saying now. It is what the President Donald Trump is saying. So with these all things, now what happens? Look, if this thing happens, the first people who are going to benefit out of this is Iran and the jihadi network of Iran. Because remember, friends, United States of America can only handle 2 full-fledged wars. If Russia-Ukraine doesn't stop, rather escalates, so your capability to handle will be maybe 1 war or a 1.5 war. So, and if it is nuclear, you will only be able to handle 1 war. So Iran becomes automatically safe, and that's doomsday for Israel. The Israelis can handle them on their own, but it's not a good point. Looking at the situation that the America is busy, Iran might, along with his friends and jihadis, might try something different. And let's not forget Tayyip Erdogan. As per 𝗤𝙁 𝗲𝘅, Tayyip Erdogan is a megalomaniac dictator. He's no friend of America or anybody. He has relations with Al-Qaeda and all these people. He, along with his Al-Qaeda and his ISIS friends, will cause havoc in the Europe and the world. This is quote unquote 𝗤𝙁 𝗲𝘅. If you want, we have the video, I can send it to Sree sir and we can kind of play it in some time. So this is what the 𝗤𝙁 𝗲𝘅 has to say. So we have Erdogan there. So now Erdogan, along with these Islamists and all, and Iran can really put Israel into deep trouble. Israel will have no other option here but to retaliate with a nuke. Again, Israel will be retaliating with nukes. And if Israel retaliates with the nukes, the whole Middle East is going to burn. It will be a complete clash of civilization, Muslims versus Jews. And here, we'll have Russian-Ukrainian war. So Islamists benefit out of this because they see this as an opportunity. America cannot handle them. Here, the most happy person is Xi Jinping. With his dwindling fortunes, yesterday's show was good. You have seen all the things which are happening in China. With his dwindling fortunes and his time, which was really running out, he will get a lease of life. Now, because Americans are busy handling a kind of a nuclear, fully semi-nuclear situation, Israel, Iran, and Middle East will see some kind of a nuclear activity. And then this will be the best time for Xi Jinping to invade Taiwan, because Americans cannot do shit about it. NATO can't do anything, and American alliance can't do anything because they're too busy there. So Xi sees this as an opportunity. If he's able to annex Taiwan, that will be his call to glory, and he will be able to stick on to power for some more years. Now, in this situation, is India safe? No, India is not safe. You will see China and Pakistan and some few other Muslim countries getting together and trying to teach us a lesson, which they will. Let me be very candid with you. If you think they are not going to do it, no, they are going to do it. And yesterday, I was very clear when somebody asked me, what will happen to Maldives next? They say when they run out of money, they will again come to you, give us money. It's as long as you keep the money, keep the mouth shut, put enough bones in their mouth, they will keep shut. The day the bones go less, they will start again doing what they're good at. But this time, China will see this opportunity to settle the arch rival in Asia. Because if China has to become a superpower globally, it has to become an Asian superpower. With India being in the fray, you can never become an Asian superpower, forget a global superpower. So what China is going to do, it is going to gang up with Pakistan and few other Muslim countries, which are heavily indebted to China, and try to settle its score with India. Now imagine the situation. Russians are busy, Americans are busy. Europe is busy, Middle East is busy. Everybody is busy. So you have all these your friendly neighborhood Muslim countries whom you think they are all your friends, but they are not. And by the way, when Yunus is talking that he will extradite Hasina, let me remind you, Yunus is talking he will extradite Hasina. ISKCON is a terrorist organization, and you know what Muzu is up to. So with all your friendly neighborhood countries, along with China and Pakistan, can come and really do this. And Pakistan has this dream of 𝗤𝙑 This can really become a reality if the things heat up. Look what is happening in Manipur. 50 CRPF companies moved and things going out of control now. I have seen one of the videos of a cookie terrorist who is saying, let it be CRPF, let it be your dog, your cat, or anybody will kill everybody now. So suddenly there's a spike up there. Myanmar will see a spike up because Chinese are fighting for their existential crisis. So suddenly this change of events, and Joe Biden, why did he do it? So just give me 30 seconds, I'll hand it over to you. Why did Joe Biden do it? Because I don't know how many skeletons he still has in the cupboard. What is about Hunter Biden? What is about that? What is Aspin's Island? So many things, and how many such islands exist? Who all were going there? What about those? There was a lot of thing about somebody was seen with kids and children. There are a lot of things are going and doing rounds. I don't know what is true, but Biden definitely under pressure is going to do it. And don't forget, I told you the world is not safe as long as Mr. Barack Hussain Obama still has some reins of power. This will be an excellent move to dismantle America, to dismantle the Christian world, to dismantle Jews, then come for Hindus. Brilliant plan. Start with Christians, kill each other, and the Jewish state, and then come for Hindus. This is a three-state process, what it is going to happen. What I'm trying to do is really real. It's not scary because Putin has declared his red line. And so has Israel. If Israel is attacked by all of them, Israel will have no other option but to go for this. And that's why in the last episode of Israel, I told you when I talked to Israelis, they are really worried. Benjamin Netanyahu is really worried about these 50 days to go. So just 30 seconds. Why 15 days? Why? You will say, Sumitji, why 48 days? Why not 62 days, 63 days? Look, whatever will happen in next 15 days. So after 15 days, when we have 48 days left, will it be heaven or hell? That is what we have to see with our eyes and feel with our skin and blood. I don't know. What will happen is in the next 15 days. And if you remember, I had told you long back, November is going to be a tough month. And if I talk as per astrology, Hindu astrology, Shani Dev has become Margya today. It became Margya in 14, but the impact comes on in 3 or 4 days. Shani Dev is fully Margya today. Margya means is in full power today. And if you look at the great, astrological signs, they are not also good. So let's wait and watch, see how it turns up. Can Trump use all the goodwill to convince Putin to hold on for 60 days? Or will we see a debacle of the civilization? That's the question. Over to you, Sree.
Thank you so much, Sumit. I just wanted to touch or add to what Sumitji said. So let's play this thing out a little bit. None of the what I would call SAARC bloc countries, with the exception of India, are going to do well in the next few years. As they start running out their money, they're spending out their money, what are they going to do? I see a good policy that the Modi government has adopted, that is not to give them money, because you know why? Money, it goes to the president, he will pocket half of it. And he'll just make a make-believe because he wants the people to be always hungry so he can come back and ask for more money. What Indian government has been doing is don't give money, give it in kind. So everything, my humble request to the Indian government, or I should say Bharat's government, is put a sticker in everything you give, whether it is biscuit packets or pressure cookers. 100,000 pressure cookers were gifted to Sri Lanka. Can you believe it, Sumitji? 100,000 pressure cookers. Then the problem was that the distribution was not even among the population of Sri Lanka. India had to step in and tell them, look, there are people in the northern part of Sri Lanka, they speak Tamil and they are your citizens too. So there is so many things, so many biases, so many, I will get it, I will not give it to you, these kinds of things. The best thing is, in all these things, put a sticker with love from Bharat. Make sure you use the word Bharat. And I'll tell you another interesting story that happened. You know, Afghanistan, they have burnt all their opium crop. I'm thinking it is Dovalji's strategy. So in exchange for what? India has been giving wheat. In fact, for the children, it even exports Britannia biscuits.
Correct.
And for some time, these lorries or trucks, container trucks, were traveling across Pakistan into Afghanistan border. And you know what Pakistan put as condition? They said on the truck board, you cannot have anything to do with India. You cannot talk anything about what you are carrying inside. Nothing can be visible. Chiller party is the chillerest party is this guy. Chiller is Hyderabadi thing, like very low mindset. So you know what India did? Fine, they did not put it there. They, in fact, even the bags inside, let's say there is 100 kilos of wheat, even the bag they didn't want to put India's name in it. The innermost wrapper, whatever it was, there India put made in Bharat or made in India, whatever, with love from India, something like that. I don't know the exact thing, but when finally they open it, right, the last thing they will see is that it came from India. This is very important because you don't want to hate, you don't want the people of these countries to hate Bharat. It is these politicians are all corrupt, two-bit thugs, in fact, and Muizu's own family, 3 or 4 people are Jamaat. Yeah. His wife is seriously radicalized. We were one of the few thought out this thing. You know what that Muizu bastard does? I'm calling him fully cognizant of what he did. He tried to take Xavier Rodriguez down. Xavier did all the exposures and exposés. He tried to run him off, Sumitji.
I know, sir.
What the hell is going on? So all these people are going to be on their knees. This is for sure. The 28 islands creating water is first step. You want something, we will give you in kind, not in cash. No more cash.
No.
And this is something that China cannot do. This is the other thing. So there are a lot of ways, many angles here. I'm just surprised that India allowed Nepal to send their electricity across India's lines, power grid, into Bangladesh, when India is trying to apply the economic squeeze on Bangladesh for unpaid bills. The rascals have to understand, you are not going to get tomorrow electricity. All your Bakrid ka bakra sab will rot soon. Anyway, so this is where I wanted to just say that giving all these donations to all these neighboring countries in kind is very important to make sure that India's name comes across. Second is, they know that after some time that their politicians don't have anything in here. We have to depend on our big brother India. People will start looking at, this ship is arriving with all these things. That is where I need it to be. Until they began to stand on their own legs, this is what has to happen. You enable them to get up and stand on their own legs, then you'll get it. Look at all the countries' tourism economy. But Nepal, completely based on India's tourism. Sri Lanka, India's tourism. Maldives, India's tourism business. And you want to take pot shots at India? There is a price for all these things. Back to you. Let's take some questions now, sir. You want to add something to that, please?
I wanted to add something. So now the thing is that looks like Americans have given this approval. Now, I think I'm very sure Trump will have some back channel talks to Putin. UK has not spoken. France has not spoken. I hope and pray they don't give this approval. And you know what Zelensky is going to do? Zelensky is looking for $300 billion. or $400 billion. He is talking to Americans, look, there are $400 billion which you have frozen from the Russia. Give me these $300 billion, I'll walk out of the game. I don't want anything else. And there is no way Americans can give that clown $300 billion or whatever the Russian frozen assets are, they can't. Now he is trying to negotiate hard. But what I'm trying to tell you, see the influence of the deep state. See how powerful deep state is. See how much can they strike. Same Joe Biden who had not approved it for 2 years in a line, which I know. Even when Keir Starmer did it, he was very against it. But the same Joe Biden, after losing the election and after, I don't know what his limitations are, what they're blackmailing him with, he simply let the hell go loose. They are okay to get a few million people killed. And this time, if there's a World War III, which looks to be very close, if Trump doesn't do any magic, it is going to be a nuke war. So people in Israel, people in Middle East, people in India, people everywhere are going to impact it. And friends, let me tell you one thing. I didn't want to bring this up, but I have to. I talk to a lot of people, and a lot of people consult me for various things across the world. I'm telling you one thing, Sree sir, when I'm talking to people, I can't give the details, but there are horrible, bloody, horrible things happening in the world. My heart and mind shakes when I talk to people, because I cannot believe these things are happening to humans and in the world. People have gone to any levels. And the kind of trouble some people have gone into because of their families have been literally washed away because of this. Their incomes, everything has washed away because of this. Unfortunately, there are a lot of things we can't talk on the public broadcast because of national security, because of privacy, and because, we don't want to cause panic everywhere. But things are really getting bad and ugly. And these guys, who are these Islamists, these communists, look, in communism, using of violence is a part of the statecraft. They don't mind using violence. Mao said to Nehru once, if a few million people in China die, it's okay. So these people are ready to take out, even if the world loses 1 billion people, swear to God, these communists will not even blink an eye. They say it's okay. Islamists anyway want Islam to prevail and anybody else to die. That is their simple motto. So the civilized lord of the world, the liberal lord of the world, the people who want to make a bread and butter, right? Like us, who want to live and live, our families live. Swear to God, they have put our existence in a crisis. You and me or anybody in the world can be impacted or affected or even get killed, and you will not even know what happened to you and what is my mistake. There's no mistake of yours. Somebody wants to make money, somebody wants to control power, and somebody believes I'm destined to rule the world. And these people are going to hit their level best in next 45 days. Next 15 days, we'll know what happens. And after 45 days, heaven or hell, we bear it. We live with it. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, Sumit. And only 1 in 3 of you have liked this video. And a really sincere request to all of you. This needs to get 10 times this audience. I'm not making it up, because we're going to show you some damning evidence about how, whether it is with deep state collusion or not, Aam Aadmi Party's Punjab is the biggest culprit of what is going on in Delhi today in terms of air quality and the kind of problems that are being faced. And it's going to get worse. We're going to share a picture. Just stay tuned. We're going to answer some questions. But first, please like this video. Let's go back to questions now. Okay, so he's got the picture up. Okay, viewers, I just want to show you here. Can we zoom in towards Punjab, please, Sachin? Yeah, that's it. Okay, so viewers, when we zoom in, you will not be able to see the state line, but I will. Can you draw your finger along the state line? Yeah, just draw the line. There you go. See the state line, and after that, to the right of that is, east of that is Haryana. Look at how few crops are being burnt in Haryana. Hardly any. But look at Punjab. Look at Punjab. And look at Pakistan. There also they are burning crops. These rascals will do anything. Look at that. And look at the neighboring state of Rajasthan. A little bit, but not a whole lot. There also, again, we don't know who is owning that land. That needs to be checked too. So what I'm trying to say is, this is now being weaponized. God damn it, everything is being weaponized. Your food, your crop, your agriculture, your water, your air. God damn it, what's going on?
Sir, adding to what you are saying, the condition in Delhi is so bad. My room is fully closed, and just before the show, see this. I had to buy this eye drop, right? It's a new one. I just opened it. Before coming to the show, I had to put this in my eyes because my eyes were today burning, and I've hardly stepped out. Even in the closed room, you need to put your eye drop before you can do the show because your eyes are literally burning today. And this is the reality. I'm not making it up. Here it is. A new pack. I just opened it. I just got it because I could not come because my eyes were really, in a pretty bad shape, and I don't use eye drops in my life. But now I have to use. This is the condition. The AQI is horrible, and these people are only playing games and doing mockery, doing nothing about it. And what you rightly said, they are weaponizing everything. And today, I think the interest of these people with a vested interest are so strong. They are so powerful. I mean, and if we still try to handle everything by the book, I'm sure a lot of things in this world can never be settled. We can take some questions now if people have some questions. Yeah, that is,
Questions, yeah. Vijay Kumar, so we have 20 questions, so we have to run through fast, Sumitji. Vijay Kumar Srivastava says, do you think, sir, that US being the sole superpower and lack of trust among big countries may be cause of Third World War?
No, sir. We have explained the question, why this is happening. We have asked, taken you the story of 𝗤𝗨𝗪𝗪, then the ATCAMS, and what did Putin say, nuclear torpedo, the missiles. We have kind of discussed all the things. And that is why this war is happened. Imagine Joe Biden not approving this and before leaving and handing the office to Trump. Even in the last video, I told you, when you talk of this smooth transition of power, we showed you that video on PGurus. I told you that there is, Trump is saying that let's hope it happens. There was a lot of hint there because Trump will also have his intel. Trump will also know what is happening. There was an intel that the transition of power is not smooth going to happen. I mean, screw the power man here. They are talking of a few million people might get killed in this process. I don't know why did Joe approve this. What is his compulsion and doesn't, whatever they might have against him or whatever money they might have promised him or all. But you want a few million people to just die and evaporate by approving this? That's the bigger question, sir. Next question.
Next one, please. Jaipuri Shankaracharya ji wants to know, Sumit ji, if Ukraine launches storm shadow, will Putin hit England and France?
Because Putin is very clear, sir. It is a war by NATO, Europe and America on Russia. So the retaliation can be to Ukraine, it can be to France, it can be to England as well, because this is where the Shalom shadow comes from. And ATCAMS are launched, then the problem can come to America. Remember that nuclear powered missile? And exactly with that nuclear powered missile, which Putin has, I talked about, I can't remember the name. Sachin bhai, can you Google the name? Somewhere it skipped my mind. It is as powerful. One missile can wipe out the whole European Parliament, and it will take it 3 minutes to hit it. And practically unstoppable in this missile and this nuclear torpedo, what I talked about. So Putin has developed some state-of-the-art weapons when he saw NATO was coming near to him. Putin had announced this around 5 to 7 years back. These are my developments which I'm going to do, and push comes to shove, I will even use them. Now all the three are ready. Now imagine what kind of hell gates are you are trying to open, Mr. Biden. Why are you doing it? I have no idea.
Thank you, Shashidhar Pulikonda, for becoming YouTube member. Mangat Ranga wants to know, Namaskar, the nominees of Trump had vowed to dismantle the deep state. Are they regrouping? Is there longevity till Trump takes charge?
I think they are trying their best to set the world on fire. And before, Sree sir said once a very good thing. Usually in a typical state, you might have 5 or 10 fire tenders. That is what a typical state might have. But if you start 50 fires, even if all the 10 do the best of the job, they can't do nothing. That is what these guys are trying to do. They're trying to literally set the world on fire before Trump takes the place. And Trump has been talking about de-escalating, stopping the wars. Forget stopping the war. You might have a nuclear situation before he comes to the office. And it might have even erupted. Whatever will happen in the next 15 days. Sir. After that, we'll know which way has it gone. I hope Trump has some equation with Putin and Putin kind of agrees to hold on and not to go for the nuclear option. I hope that is true. Let's see.
Next one, please. Rajat Rana wants to know, Sumitji, what can Modi do to stop this World War III?
It is not in our circle of influence, Rajatji. If I can be as direct and as candid with you, we have to watch our things because we have a bunch of hostile neighbors around us. And these people are all those jackals which are looking, those hyenas and those vultures which are, already going around your head. So let's try to protect our turf. We are not out of this. It's not that we are out of the game. We are also part of the game.
Next one, please. Thank you so much, Vaibhav Nayak, for your super sticker. Thank you, Nirav. 1947 full partition. We must spread this in world.
Honestly, I don't know, but at times only the radical ideas are the best ideas, because when a man thought he would fly, could you imagine he will sit in an aluminum tube and fly at 1,000 miles per hour? We could not think that, but that was a radical idea of that time. People were building those fake wings and trying to fly. But today we can be sipping coffee, watching a movie, literally sleeping, and in a metal tube which flies at 1,000 miles per hour at 36,000 feet. So this was a radical idea of that time. So even my idea, Nirav bhai, all the radical ideas should not be discounted and disbanded. Maybe that's where the survival is.
Next one, please. Raja Bodapati wants to know, don't you think Biden did it deliberately?
Of course, sir. Not a doubt about it. He did it deliberately. Now it is deep state, it is communist, and it's Islamists who have jointly put a lot of pressure, or used a lot of influence, a lot of leverage against him. And let's not forget, when such dangerous things happens, our friendly neighborhood, 𝗣𝗚𝘗 Obama, as usual, disappears. He will be nowhere to be found. And you remember, Trump said, I don't know who sold the hypersonic technology to Russia or who facilitated it. He named Bill Clinton. He mailed Barack Hussein Obama. He used the word full name. And he stressed on the word Hussein. So if Trump says that, who am I not to concur to that?
Next one, please. Thank you, Satyabrata Maiti, for your super sticker. Thank you, EQ Focus. Who's behind Manipur killing? The timing is malicious.
China. Don't have any doubt. People's Republic of China. Xi Jinping. Chinese FSS. That is who is causing all the shit. It is China. And even I've been warning that in Manipur, the things will go bad. Look for Myanmar now, friends. Manipur is only the trailer. Myanmar is where the real picture is. Do you think they are going to... When I looked at the tone of that cookie militant terrorist yesterday, he was high on drugs, and the way he was talking, it is as if, it is not somebody talking from his heart and mind. When he talks, I'll give everybody from CRPF. How does he know one of his brother from Manipur is not in CRPF? How does he know one of the brother who is in a CRPF uniform is a cookie himself? There's a possibility. So he says, I'll just kill CRPF. Anyway, your dog, your cat, your man, your woman, and even CRPF, I'll kill everybody. So what do you think is happening? You dismantle the opium, you dismantle the poppy culture, and we had this open border with Myanmar, which was a problem. Whenever Hindus have kept their guard down, history says Hindus have been decimated. We don't learn our lessons. The problem is that we don't learn our lessons. We still want to experiment. We still want to be those epitomes of righteousness and goodwill. That doesn't work with Hindus. And wherever in the world Hindu population has been lessened, ultimately it vanishes. Look at Afghanistan. Look at Pakistan. Look at wherever. So again, the strength is in the numbers, and strength is to be in the guard. That is why I've been always saying, spend billions of dollars on building the army, building the Sena, strengthening Bharat, strengthening its fences. Goodwill is perishable, and it is a state of mind. I might send you 1 million pressure cookers, but still your leader might say, screw you. What do I do? How will my pressure cooker save you? It won't save you.
I was thinking, not just sticker, but on a pressure cooker, right? You can actually engrave it, made in Bharat, or with love from Bharat. You engrave it.
Put a map of it. Put a map of Bharat.
Put a map. Perfect.
Put a map.
Put a map, and that is like backdrop that made from with love from Bharat. Simple, 4 words and 1 map, and that will make it completely like, look, every day the guy makes food, he will see that. आपको करना होगा ये. This is not something, because there's so much misinformation being spread about your benevolent brother, that bloody hell, these guys use Bharat to just get elected. India out, what nonsense. Now
What in
भिखारी बन गए हो. This is Muizu. India out, what nonsense. Eat shit
Sir,
now.
चार आने का भिखारी है वो. I will हिंदी में
Yeah.
बोलूंगा, चार आने का भिखारी है वो. And with these people, how do you tackle them? I slightly beg to differ here, sir. There's a point you talk normal to them. उसके बाद लात मारो, पिछवाड़े पे लात मारो और औकात गिनाओ. That is the
Actually,
exact.
See, if India is not going to invade Bangladesh, okay, fine, I understand. You don't want to. Getting into war is easy, getting out is hard. I understand that. Why don't India start creating Hindu enclaves inside
Correct.
Bangladesh?
Correct.
Create Hindu enclaves in Bangladesh. Chittagong area, a lot of Hindus are there. Rajshahi area, a lot of Hindus are there. That part, start building enclaves. What happens is you can call them safe areas. Okay, if there's a problem for a Hindu in a Muslim neighborhood where he is, safe areas, you come here, the guy is safe, you collect intelligence as to what happened, how much property that guy had, then you start removing that from somewhere else. हर एक का नंबर निकालना पड़ेगा, and the guys who attack, they need to feel what's happening in Uttar Pradesh. Bulldozer Raj. Everybody's house is out of bounds. They have constructed more than their limits. But if you do something wrong, you lose your house.
Correct. Has to be. Sir, आप बताइए ना, even if you look at the situation, if these jihadis and Islamists have no penalty, do you think they're going to change? They will never change. They will never change. Look, I'm not saying go and do it, but I'm suggesting something. I'm just putting a situation. Nasrallah, Soleimani, 𝗤𝘓𝘂𝘁𝘀, and many more, Mohammad 𝗖𝗎, all gone. Do you think Israel is crazy to do all this? Push comes to shove, when it's supreme national interest, all options should be open. And if people don't fall in line and they are trying to ferment trouble for you, everything has a limit. Everything has a Lakshman Rekha, and India is not a country where you can mess around with it. There is a limit to our tolerance. Beyond that, kinetic means are always an option.
Before we take up this question, another request to all our viewers. When I made my first request to like this video, there were 1:4 number of viewers versus number of likes. Now I'm very happy to say it is now 1:2. It needs to be 1:1. We have 2,400 people watching. I would like to see at least 2,400 likes or more. Thank you so much. Thanks in advance. Please just like this video. When it happens all at once, that's when the virality goes through the roof. I know somebody is suppressing it. I'm not going to make any more like maybe, could be, would be. No, it is somebody suppressing it. These bloggers are now in the last legs. They'll do everything possible to try and deny truth from coming out.
And the fact of the matter remains, sir, it's not a question of whether Sree Iyer or Sumit Peer is wanting you to like that. This is how the YouTube platform works. It is not what we want or what we like. It's not our wish list. This is how the platform works. And we are on this platform, and you are our friends, you are our brothers and sisters. You have to exactly do what the platform wants or intends us to do. So it's not his or my liking. It's not his or my sweet cup of tea. This is how the platform works. So kindly like the video.
Thank you, sir. And let's go to the next question from Jahangir-ji. Thank you so much, Jahangir-ji. Are the weeds in our neighbor's lawn being taken care of? I cannot understand why problem politicians are not dealt with. This democracy is delusion. If you will permit me, before you answer, let's take a look at this picture. This is what he's referring to. Over to you, Sachin-ji. Sorry, Sumit-ji.
I think, sir, the problem is that, if I can be direct today, a lot of things don't have a lot of answers within the lot of described or prescribed parameters of the stated law. There are some things which have to go beyond and above known paradigms and set principles, because that is what Raj Dharma says. And when people are hitting you below the belt, right, you have to also strengthen yourself below the belt and possibly give them a taste of their medicine. because you know what was the difference between Ramayana and Mahabharata? People don't know this. I'll tell you a difference. When Ramayana happened, Bhagwan Sri Ram was fighting asuras, rakshasas, danavs, right? Did you hear that the Yuddha was start with the sunrise and will end in the sun? And no, it used to happen 24/7. Raat ko bhi hota tha. Day, night, morning, evening, dawn, the Yuddha was continuing. But in Mahabharata, there was, humans fighting humans. So there were some rules. So when humans fight humans, there can be rules. But when you are fighting asuras, dhanvas, and those rakshasas, fight like Bhagwan Sri Ram. No rules, no time, nothing. The Yuddha, there was no time in Ramayana Yuddha. Remember this. There was no rules of Ramayana Yuddha. No rules. Have you heard any rule in Ramayana? You must have heard plenty of rules in Mahabharata. No rule in Ramayana. Why? Do you think Bhagwan Sri Ram and the Vishnu avatar was wrong? Do you think he doesn't have brains to think what he was doing? He exactly knew. But you're fighting asuras. You're fighting rakshasas. What will you do? So let these rules be in a safe box when you're fighting a different breed of enemy. That's my take on this.
And this picture we just showed, can we put the picture up again, please? Just for 1 minute. Yeah, this is taken from Fire Information for Resource Management System, FIRMS, FIRMS. Thank you for having this wonderful picture. I mean, this is something that you can go to that website. If you search on it, you'll get it, because you will know, because once the fire subside in Punjab, it will take 10 days or 14 days before things will improve in Delhi, because all that air that has to still come through. So at least you will know, okay, today it has stopped in Punjab, therefore tomorrow or maybe 1 week from now or 2 weeks from now, it will get better. Remember, Sumitji said that many consulates have closed shop. People have left Delhi. They all have been seeing all these things.
Sir, kya kare?
It's the average Indian that is the last person holding the bag. Kuch nahi hai.
Sir, this is the reality, sir. This is the reality. Yeah. This is the reality, honestly. And I'm hale and hearty and have no problem. Imagine the people who are old, who are asthmatic, they have problems. Imagine my father, my grandfather's age people, how are they surviving? They're literally in a bloody gas chamber. The kids are coughing and all. But kya farak padta, sir? The Rajniti continues. And this is the problem of our, what Jahangir ji is saying, at times. That's why I gave you example between Ramayana and Mahabharata. At both the times, it was avatar of Bhagwan Sri Hari Vishnu. Bhagwan Sri Ram, Bhagwan Sri Krishna, fighting the war of Dharma. But one war, there were rules, and another war, there were no rules. And Ramayana happened in the Satyuga. In Satyuga, there were no rules when you're fighting asuras and rakshas. Can I be more direct? No. I've told what happened.
Next one, please. Thank you. Thank you. Next one, please. Ashok Prabhakar, thank you so much for your super sticker. Sanjay ji, thank you for your super sticker. Sabyasachi Samwal, thank you so much. Isn't name India better than the word Bharat? Because though it gives us a feeling of pride, it is dissociate with the Indian Ocean. In India makes us look like the owner of Indian Ocean. Good point, Sabyasachi. I don't know. This is something that the Babus can figure out. Or you can have both.
We can make it Bharat Ocean, Sabya bhai. Sabyasachi bhai, we can make it Bharat Ocean. Apna hi hai. It's our ocean only. Yeah. We can make it Bharat Ocean. You see, the challenge is, I'll be very, I want to make one very important point. If Hindu population starts diminishing, the debacle of Hindu from that place starts happening. That's a very, very simple forward. I don't know why we Hindus, including myself, we love to have this exactly same mentality what 𝗣𝗚𝘅 Chauhan ji had so many 100 years back. We have not learned from him. And all those, my brothers in Maharashtra and my Marathi brothers, you talk about Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Great. Sambhaji Maharaj was the ace warrior, the best of best in his age. Who killed Sambhaji Maharaj and how was he killed? Why don't we also teach our kids that? Who betrayed Sambhaji Maharaj? Who killed Sambhaji Maharaj and how brutally he was literally cut into pieces and killed? We talk about the pride of Shivaji, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Even my chhati swells with pride, my chest swells with pride. But when we talk about Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, we should also talk about Sambhaji Maharaj. And tell him who betrayed him, how he was slaughtered, how he was killed, and what happens when things go wrong. Shivaji, Sambhaji, father and the son. Guru Gobind Singh Ji and Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, father and the son. There are a lot of such stories. Unfortunately, we only talk about the first, we forget the second. Because second, there is pain. But this pain and misery clears your vision, clears the vision of the future generations, and they know what can happen if they don't do what they're supposed to do.
Next one, please. Thank you, Aditya Handu. Sumit ji, had the Kashmiri Pandits gone the Israel self-preservation route in history, would it have helped us more? If yes, what were the blockers for us not to inculcate that attitude?
Let me tell you, Aditya ji, there was a proposal once, I think in 89 or 88, that Kashmiri Hindus or Pandits will be given arms. But this was vehemently put down and said, no, we can't give them arms. They can't protect themselves. Even in today, when we talk of a settlement like in Kashmir, is it still done? Forget 33 years back. Even when I talk today, why don't we have a Israeli state style settlements in Kashmir? When Omar Abdullah was the CM last time, he denied you even to put a tent outside Amarnath Gufa, saying it will disturb the ecology of the place. Now, these all things need political will. And as I told you, the problem with our times of today and with the liberals is where we are trying to be politically correct. We are trying to be epitomes of those righteousness and greatness, self-obsession of looking great in the world. That is where the problem is. If you have the political will, if you have the political decision, yes, we could have stood there. We could have been Israel there. We could have still liked Israel and resisted it. Ethnic cleansing happened because you cannot fight a Kalashnikov with a potato knife, right? You cannot fight a Kalashnikov with a potato knife. If we had a Kalashnikov, we would have also fought a Kalashnikov. We didn't have that. We had a potato knife. That too, it was not so sharp. So, I mean, suicide, and there's a difference between suicide and bravery. And what I liked the dialogue in this Hindi picture, Border. एक अच्छा डायलॉग था, हिंदी में बोलूंगा, कोई भी जंग जीतने के लिए जिंदा रहना जरूरी है, और आज भी हांडू साहब मेरे भाई, जंग आज भी जारी है क्योंकि हम जिंदा है.
True. Madhuri Tumuluri, thank you so much for becoming YouTube member. Tillai Sundaramurthy, thank you so much. Let Bharat flourish. Here. Swati Iyer ji, thank you so much for your super sticker. Vishnu Gopi wants to know, Sumit sir, will Zelensky attack Russian mainland with missiles, or will he be removed by someone in Ukraine? What are your views?
I hope what you are saying second comes true, because honestly, even the problem is that these people are now on a fedayeen mode. It doesn't matter if Zelensky is there or somebody else might do it. Now it has a lot of I explained you one of the episode what happens. If it's a problem between two people, I can come and sit in between you and settle it. If it's between three, I can sit between the three and talk to you. But if the problem becomes multi-layered and multiple people with conflicting interests become a part of the equation, then really to balance it out, even for Bhagwan Sri Krishna, a Prabhu Sri Ram, is impossible. Forget a man. No man can manage it. Because then we all have conflicting interests and conflicting gains and losses, and it's a multi-layered conflict. And there are only one or two idiots who need to jump the gun. If these two idiots jump the gun, before you know what happened, there are 40 people who are in the fray. How do you stop it? Look at all the world wars. How did it start? You just need two idiots to jump the gun, right? And before you know what happened, there will be 50 people involved, and everybody is a conflicting interest. If the world was between Russia and America, with all the nukes, with all those bombers which were in the air and all, still there was not a war. But became a triangle was China. What changed the world equation? It's not the Russian and the Americans, no. It's People's Republic of China, which Barakat Hussain Obama built to destroy America. So with Chinese influence getting into Middle East, getting into Pakistan, getting here, getting there, eventually it created a lot of conflict groups. Why is Iran, who is behind Iran? It's of course China. Who is buying their oil? It's China. So look at those. Now you have Iran as a power. So eventually China built North Korea as a conflicting power. So you have 5 of them which have come up. Now eventually India came up. It became a power. Pakistan tried to come up, but thank God it could stand nowhere. But eventually there are a lot of power centers which they built. Then came the deep state. So basically it has become a complex quagmire, and I don't know, of a lot of conflicting forces. There are various talks and everybody has his own interests. So it becomes very difficult to kind of, do this. Today, I fear if this situation, what you are saying in the point number 2 regarding Zelensky, if it was 3 months back, maybe we had a better chance. Even today, will this help? I will say 50-50. I'm not sure.
Next one, please. Sumit bhai, Pakistan bhi apna power hai, beggar power.
De dada ke naam tujhko Allah rakhe. That is what the power is they have. So,
Next one, please. SID AWS Cloud Bangalore. Trump must stop all deep state funding, especially Ukraine and Pakistan. Set up a strict rule to close borders and deport illegal migrants. Well, yeah, go ahead and answer this. I'll add a little bit.
I will only say one thing. For that, Trump has to come to power, brother. There are 53 days to go. No, 63 days to go. So, if he is not in the seat, how do you expect him to do the magic? Today, he has influence, but still, Biden can make those decisions, which I have been warning you all guys that, like this decision. Okay, use the camps on Russian mainland. Technically, Biden can do it today. And that is what the American Constitution gives him the power to do it. So, where is the game? Game is, brother, by the time Trump doesn't come to the seat, if Trump comes to the seat and another 1 month up there, we are getting towards a safer zone. We'll enter a kind of orange zone from red zone. So, but if you disrupt the apple cart before it's formed, so what can Trump do today? He doesn't have, kind of that much of leverage, sir.
We are past 1 hour, Sumit ji. Do you have a few more minutes, or we can?
I have no problem.
We still have more than 10 questions.
Okay.
Brar Gaming, thank you so much for becoming YouTube member. Kaveri Maintan wants to know that Maintan means son of Kaveri. Then unlikely event of World War III, which side do you think India will join, or will India abstain?
Well, my brother, ideally would want to keep out of this. But if you're a B4 country, can you keep out of it? Look, they will be, you will be pulled in some way or the other. We'll try as much as to keep away from it, but ultimately, you are not a Rwanda or a Fiji or with due respect to all the countries, or a Singapore, which can choose to keep away. You will be drawn. I don't know which side, but you will be drawn. Obviously, you can't be on the side of China. So you have to be on the other side. So China is not an option.
See, one observation. Can you put up the picture again, please? Even if India abstains, right? Even if India abstains, look at what is happening across the border in Pakistan. Those guys are also burning crop. See, the stupidity here is, I'll tell you what, viewers. See, in Punjab, there used to be 2 crops, Punjab and Haryana, 2 crops in a year. Now, because they saw that the Kaveri Delta was always getting this my water, your water problems 30 years ago, they decided to add rice as a crop in Punjab and Haryana. So what happened is you got 3 seasons. So in order for you to harvest rice, and then you need to burn the crop, because otherwise you will not be able to plant for the next season. You cannot give it time for it to completely go out on its own. So what is the way out? Chhattisgarh is growing a lot more rice. Uttar Pradesh is growing a lot of rice. Jharkhand is growing a lot of rice. Madhya Pradesh is growing a lot of rice. Tamil Nadu will not grow because they'll always look at Kaveri and say, you're not giving us water, because that is better politics. People don't want you to help. The politicians don't want to help the farmer in Tamil Nadu. They'll just keep pointing fingers. They are not giving water. Center is not giving us funds. So we are all fine. We will do it, but others are not. So this is where the problem is. Punjab needs to stop growing rice.
Yeah. And
imagine now telling them, okay, you just do 2 crops, don't do the rice crop. It will happen. Why will it happen? If there is overproduction of rice in India, the prices will collapse. Once the price collapses, then you will say, okay, there is no fun in doing this, we will stop it. This is naturally leading towards that. But Pakistan is not growing 3 crops.
Why is it burning?
This is interesting.
another problem of, and honestly, West Bengal is one of the biggest rice producers in India today. So it's not that there are not options, but is the politics of it.
No. Here is an interesting observation. This is the Punjab government official saying that the rice produced in Punjab isn't fit for human consumption.
Let's not forget the Cancer Express.
Yeah. And we have seen videos also where they actually take perfectly grown wheat and then they just keep putting water over it to make it to ferment, to go bad. All sorts of dirty tricks are being done. And they say that India is having unknown army in Canada. Most of the people who are owning lands in Punjab today are people sitting in Canada. Canada. Kinjal Shah wants to know what other strong reason can we expect to have World War III?
I think, Kinjalji, the Russians are already there. Look, there was a talk between Joe Biden and Anthony Blinken, Jack Sullivan, quite some time back. It became viral, wherein he said, are we going to win this war? Jack Sullivan says, no, we are not going to win this war. So what is the answer? Do we walk out of the war and give Putin 24% of the Ukraine? No, we can't do that. So what do you think? We either hope Putin just evaporates or something happens which we get a face and we get to walk out of the war. So Americans know you can't win this war. You know Putin will not recede. Putin will not compromise that. So you are looking for an alternate to get a saving out of it. And now with these things happening, I don't know. This is like that Fidayeen movement. I'm not going to get anything out of it. Now go to hell. Everybody die. It's a state of mind.
Rangaswamy wants to know, Zell on one hand stating about peace post Trump swearing in. On the other hand, now this development by Biden. Do you think Zell will really strike back?
No, he won't. Zell means Zelensky, right?
Yeah.
So Zelensky wants to. Zelensky has again people who operate him, who control him. Zelensky to me is an interface. He is the best human robot on planet Earth. Human robot. He might look like formerly Norm and wearing those chinos and wearing those those kiwis
fatigues.
And those
army fatigues. Yeah.
He's the epitome of robotic automation, human robotic automation on planet. There's somebody else who runs Zelensky. Zelensky is not run by Zelensky. His gray matter doesn't run, and there's somebody else who's running him. So guys who some of you are engineers and young, if you want to really do a PhD in human robotics, study Zelensky. Excellent subject.
Next one, please. Swati Iyer, thank you so much again. Please, could you share a QR code to pay for membership by UPI? We will get back to you. Please send a request at 𝗤𝙭@PGurus.com, my initials, and we'll respond to you, Swati ji. Next one, please. Bhaskar Verma wants to know, Har Har Mahadev, in power transition period, by which authority does Sleepy Biden take decision? Who controls Pentagon in real sense?
I think, to best of my knowledge, Joe Biden legally can take this decision, and Pentagon, it's now typically in a gray man's land. Still, Biden is in the control. The things will really move to Trump after 21st of January or 20th of January. By that time, Biden can take all these things here and there. There is no way Trump can come and stop that legally or practically. He can put his objections, he can put all the things here, but it is like that caretaker government which has power. It depends how do they want to use it, constructively or destructively. That's my take on it.
Bhaskar ji, there is a transition team in place. The transition team has to approve all these decisions. But what I'm told about this, as well as the last tranche of $6 billion package to Ukraine, all these things, they had already put everything in place even before November 5th. So today, all these things are already in place inside Ukraine. The question is whether to launch it or not launch it. So it's going to be a problem. Let's see. Next one, please. Rudran wants to know, Biden has done a blunder by giving additional aid. Can't Trump do anything? Won't the war end soon?
We were hoping the war will end. We were hoping that because of the equation of the Trump with Putin, it will end. And I was very clear that if this war has to end, Trump has to talk to Putin. and it looked to be working unless and until you have this red line or this Lakshman Rekha, which now you've taken up a knife and trying to cut through it. You don't need to do it. You don't need to cross this red line. Why are you taking out a dagger from your pocket and trying to scratch your way into it? There's no need. I mean, even if you launch a few missiles on Russia, hypothetically speaking, will you win Russia? Will Russia trade off Ukraine? No. It will be the devastation of Ukraine. Ukraine will be dismantled. So you're not going to achieve any of the objectives except setting the world on fire. That is what you will do.
Next one, please. Babji Krishnan wants to know, sir, Professor RV in an earlier hangout on PGurus said that Chinese economy is robust and doing extremely well, but Sumitji says it's in great trouble. Whom to believe? It's a moving target. Things are getting bad at China. Just look at it this way. Xi Jinping gave India a miss for the G20 summit, but now he's there. Why do you think he's going to Brazil if the economy is doing so well?
Correct. I think
next one, please. Yeah. Manoj Soma wants to know, what about the AAP government in Punjab, sir? Air quality is the worst in Delhi. Many Shivalingams are coming out in India. Peacocks are gathering in Sree Salem. Catch is Nagas are coming.
I know what you're mentioning, Manoj Soma bhai. I know because I understand this part of the things very well. Let's hope and pray. Things are under control. Mahakal is the great Rakshas of India, and unki kripa rahegi. We'll hope and pray. The only, one thing which has always saved India, nobody has bloody stood in this world for 1,000 years of Islamic invasion. Nobody except us. You know what saved us? Because in our every home, our mothers, sisters, our kids, we have a mandir and we worship and we pray to God. Imagine a land where billions of mantras have gone over the years. Om, Hum, Zoom, Sa. It has gone 100 billion times, 200 billion times. It makes your kshetra or it makes your land sashakt. When your kshetra or the land becomes sashakt, the things will really, really come up. What has really gone bad, I'll be very clear with you, is the 𝗣𝗚 worship in India. So 𝗣𝗚ism and all comes from Kashmir. But it has really gone bad. If the 𝗣𝗚 worship is regenerated in India, because 𝗣𝗚 is the Kshetrapal. If it is regenerated in India, I can trust you, no bloody SOB can set his foot on this land. That is something which has to be regenerated. And because of this billions and billions of mantra jap, this has made the urja of this land so strong and so powerful. That's why we have been able to stand. And that is my belief somewhere. Something will happen which will make us stand again and which will make us hold the foot again.
Thank you so much, Sumitji. Thanks for the gift of extra time to stay on and answer all the questions. Viewers, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Now let's take the Ashirvad of Mahadev.
I would love you guys to like, share, and subscribe because it's a very important piece of the video today. And we have been getting your love and affection. And that is, we try our best to come up to your expectations at every show. And your love is my like, because I like, share, and subscribe is the compulsion of YouTube, not our option. So don't take it as we are going to gain personally out of it. This is what is the requirement of the platform. And I know you all guys are very smart. You will help us on that. On that note, Bharat Mata ki jai, Vande Mataram, and Har 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 Mahadev.
Mahadev.